It's track reviews.
Hey, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. And it's time for some track reviews because count them, two brand new tracks from DJ Khaled featuring Drake have just dropped. So I'm going to give my thoughts on them. Grease and this one over here, Popstar. Want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor in this video before we go on, The Ridge. They make these awesome, nifty, cool, minimalist, metal plated wallets with a money clip on the back. They fit nicely in your front pocket and make for a great replacement for your disgusting, bulky leather wallet that you should get rid of. Hit up the link down below. Promo code MELON, 10% off. Let's go. All right. Popstar, DJ Khaled, Drake. Let's give it a taste. I like it. I like it. I like it. I mess with it. First off, let me give a shout out to David and Eli and Oz for the production they had hand in on that track. DJ Khaled is credited too, but he doesn't typically handle all the production on any given track. If he is producing at all, because he's more the director type that just kind of brings names and faces together to create a track that way. That being said, yeah, I loved this. There's not a whole lot to it though. It's simple, it's direct, but it's effective and it's catchy and it's enjoyable. I really love that deflating tone and flow that Drake brings to the table at the start of this track, kind of a new fresh voice for Drizzy. I didn't even think it was him at first. The like starting up here and then sort of like slowly, gradually falling down into a lower register. I just thought it was a very funny and interesting approach. Certainly ear-grabbing and made the song a lot catchier, I think, than it would have been otherwise. Was it ghostwritten? Could have possibly been, I suppose. Don't know who came up with that idea. Could have been Drake, could have been somebody else. Either way, it was catchy as hell. Following that, we have a pretty tight verse from Drake. It's just filled with charisma. It's filled with humor. It's filled with swagger. It's filled with flashiness, braggadocio. The delivery is solid. The flow is good. The hook pops back in very nicely. It's a cleanly structured track. And as far as the production goes, it's just a straightforward trap beat, but the trap percussion is very well EQ'd, engineered, perfectly balanced, and laced into that is a very woozy, wheezy, cycling, and somewhat dusty two-chord progression that works out pretty well. You know, it's got a bit of a sadness to it, a forlorn mood to it. It sounds like you got it out of a filthy box or a coffin or something and sort of brought it back from the dead. I suppose it's a bit ghoulish in a sense as well. And second verse, in my view, is as solid as the first. But I don't know, to my ears, I mean, I didn't hear Drake's best or most personal lines in a while. I'm sure there will be a few quotables that people will be bringing up again and again and again for a few weeks, but you know, not his most, I guess, essential stuff lyrically that I've ever heard. Still, though, as a song, as a single, as a pop rap tune, as a punchy, catchy trap track, I thought it was good and certainly better than most of what was on Drake's recent demo tapes project. Certainly sounded more well put together, harder hitting, stronger vibe as well, and again, better structured and better written. Didn't sound thrown together like much of the material on that did. So hell yes to this. Let's move on from here though to the song Grease and see what's going on with that. Hopefully it's just as good. I suppose we will see. Transitioning over, boop, 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 boop. We're here. Let's get it on. Grease, Drake, DJ Khaled, ba-bam. Ooh, I think we can stop that one right there. Not as much into this one. Shout out to Tiggy and Oz for the production on that track as well. Let me start with the positives on this track. I liked the production quite a bit. I liked the crying lead melodies in that beat. along with the weepy chords. This beat was a mood. I would say it really kind of worked to Drake's favor that the production was so good. I think it kind of carried the track a little bit. If I heard this beat out of the context of this song, I would think it would work pretty well as a Drake track. Given that, it had me pretty excited. Then the way the song starts off, we have these sung vocal lines that are pitch shifted pretty high. It's Drake singing, but it doesn't necessarily sound like Drake instantaneously. Then the more I listened to it, the more I was like, his vocal lines, the things he's saying, and the register this shift has put his voice in just kind of makes him sound like The Weeknd, to the point where it's a bit too close for comfort, and it just sounds a lot like a knockoff. And then as the song drew on, the pitch shift was not going away. I thought it would sort of melt away and then we'd get like a solid verse or something like that. But no, it just kept going. And not only did the pitch shift keep going, but there was very little change in the song itself, to the point where the whole track just felt like I was listening to a perpetual chorus. Like, the verses that were here were so short, just barely there. They felt almost like a pre-chorus in a way. It felt like they were really just like bookends for people to wait through until the hook came back. And granted, the hook is not that bad. I think the execution could have been better. The writing is decent. If this hook managed its way onto a Weeknd song, I would think it's a pretty good hook. But the way DJ Khaled and Drake pulled it off here, I think is pretty weak, frankly. And then toward the very end, we have this outro that Drake teases toward with him saying, oh man, I might have to go in. You gonna make me act up. I might have to go in on this. And then after Drake goes in, it's arguably the worst and weakest part of the song. We get a lot of very weak and boring nasally vocal lines. His singing sounds neutered in the way that it used to back when he was singing in 2010, 2011. And the strings on the beat are probably the best and most significant change that the song undergoes at this point. But Drake's writing and singing, or if he even is writing, he's probably riffing at this point, is so uninteresting that it is basically pointless. Might as well just left the production as it is, because Drake's not really doing anything interesting with it. I guess apart from hearing Drake do his best little Weeknd impression, Grease is kind of a throwaway. Didn't really care for this one at all. So, yeah, I guess 1 for 2 in my view. What did you think of these tracks? Love them? Hate them? Why? What do you think I should review next? Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, DJ Khaled, Drake, Grease, as well as Popstar, Forever.